YouTubers, Rebecca Roy here, and I've got some things I wanted to talk to you about. And the thing I'm thinking about the most is Ascension symptoms. Are you exhausted, irritable, crying, feeling despair, overwhelmed, headaches, aches and pains, all over sleepy? If you are feeling any of these symptoms and you have no idea why you are so exhausted or have no reason to feel like this, you are having Ascension symptoms. This can feel very overwhelming. Yet, this resonates with you, then my advice to you is to go to bed. Have a good cry. Let it out. Ask Archangel Michael to come and cut some cords off of you. Ask him to comfort you as you are releasing the pain that has been trapped inside of you. Release it to Mother Gaia. Give it to her for transformation. If you are exhausted, go to bed, sleep. If you are irritable, let it out when you're alone. Don't take it out on someone else. Let it out. Let it out in love and grace. Let it out and get rid of it. Because if you're that irritable, you don't need to subject yourself to someone else. Because they don't deserve that. And you can go in the woods where you're alone and just scream. You can go anywhere. Go take a shower and scream in the shower. Some of your neighbors might think you're being murdered, but you're gonna let it out. Maybe you shouldn't scream in the shower, I don't know. But I do. I let it out. Because in my day and age, we were taught to bury it. It was always just bury the pain, bury the pain, bury the pain. And, don't cry. Don't let anybody see you cry. God forbid somebody should see you cry, right? And do you want something to cry about? That's another one. I'll give you something to cry about. You're just sucking it all back in because you don't want your dad to give you a spanking. But nowadays we don't spank our kids, and honestly I think they need a spanking once in a while, but we don't spank the kids, and we listen to them, and we don't tell them to push their feelings down, which is all very healthy because nobody should be treated that way. And if you could see yourself on the other side, you would know that you're this big, beautiful, magnificent light being that is here, that is extremely loved. But we don't feel like that on this side. We barely tell people that we love them. And when we do tell them that we love them, it's usually like your kids or your parents or stuff like that. When you're saying goodbye, love you, bye. But you need to treat yourself that way too. You need to treat yourself with love and compassion. And if you're feeling really, really tired and you're feeling really irritable, go to bed. Go to bed. Take a nap. It doesn't matter. The other day I took a nap at 5 o'clock. My husband was going to be home at 7. I took a nap and I didn't wake up until 8. He was fine with it. He knows I'm tired. He understands. People understand because they're tired too. So everybody's going through this at different stages. And if you're in the first awakening, you're going to be having Ascension symptoms. And you're going to be having aches and pains and stuff like that. And, maybe you're not used to having these aches and pains. Maybe they're new. And if they're severe enough, yes, go to a doctor, please. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you any medical advice. But if you have things that are aching that don't normally ache, you might want to go in and see if you have shoved down an emotion into that spot. I shoved a bunch of emotions down into my knees, and I couldn't understand it because my knees never hurt before. And then a month ago, my knees were killing me. I could barely stand up. It was just crazy. And I went and saw my Reiki master, and she gave me my Reiki session. And she said, Rebecca, there is some really weird stuff going on in your knees. Has something happened lately that you shoved down into your knees? And I went, I don't know. I got to think about this. And I really did. So I meditated on it, and I realized that when I cleaned my garage, and there was a lot of frustration about my garage because we bought this house, and we bought it to flip it, and we ended up not flipping it. We decided that we wanted to live in it, and then we wouldn't have to pay, I don't remember what the taxes are called. It's some tax that if you don't live in a place, then you just flip it, you have to pay that tax. So we decided we didn't want to pay that tax. We'll just live in it for a couple of years. And as soon as we moved in, just about, my son took over our garage, so we never really got to use our own garage. And then he moved out of a ginormous Victorian house into a small little trailer, and he couldn't have anywhere to put it. He couldn't fit all his stuff, and so instead of getting rid of this stuff and taking it to Goodwill or selling it or throwing it away, it all went in my garage. And so I was really upset about it. So I paid a couple people to come and help me get rid of all this stuff that he's never going to use, doesn't even think about it anymore. So as it's been 4 years. And so I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. I am just done with other people's stuff in my garage. And we did it, and we got the garage down to looking pretty good. And I didn't even think about it. And then the next day my knees hurt, and I was like, why do my knees hurt so much? And they hurt so much because I had taken all that frustration and all that anger and all that, just, I felt put upon. I felt just, really put upon. And I took all of that and I shoved it into my knees. Who would do that, right? We do that. We do weird stuff like that. So if you have some weird pain that you can't figure out what it is, then you need to go inside into meditation and see, is it something that I've put there? Is it some, emotion that I've tucked into this spot? And if it's not, then, make an appointment to go to the doctor. Because make an appointment to go to the doctor anyways, because I don't want to give you any medical advice. But I'm just saying, if that's what it is, then you can transmute it and give it to God, give it to Mother Gaia, and she will transmute it into love, and it will go away. And now my knees don't hurt anymore. So if I hadn't gone to my Reiki master, it never would have occurred to me. I would have just thought, well, I'm 61, I'm getting older. I did do a lot yesterday, so it's probably that. But it wasn't that at all. It was that I'd shoved all that emotion into my knees. So that's part of the Ascension symptoms, is that we have shoved all this emotion down. And if you're a giver like I am, where you take care of your family and you just think about your family more than you think about yourself, then you're going to end up shoving a bunch of stuff down because you don't want to make waves, or you don't want to make somebody upset. And so, and especially if you're from my generation, we're used to shoving everything down anyway, so we just shove it down and we don't put it upon others. Well, let's start showing ourselves some love and grace and not putting it upon ourselves. Because if you're going to be in the first awakening, then you're going to start to have these ascension symptoms, because you have all this stuff that you've stuffed down, and it's going to come up, and you might start crying and not be able to stop crying. You might cry for like crying, and you're like, why am I still crying? I don't even understand why I'm still crying. You're crying because you've shoved so many emotions down that your body just can't take it anymore. It needs to let it out. And so just let it out. Let it yourself cry. Let it out. And if you're unfortunately in a place where, you don't want to cry, well, then just give yourself the love and compassion that you would give someone else if you saw someone else crying in love and in a place like the grocery store. And give them the love and compassion you would give them. So why wouldn't you give it to yourself? Give it to yourself. And that is extremely important, to give it to yourself. And you can call in the angels. The angels are waiting to help you. Just call in Archangel Michael and ask him to give you some comfort. He'll hug you. He will rub your hair and go, it's okay, dear one. It's okay, dear one. And I do realize how crazy that sounds to someone that hasn't, heard angels or known the angels were there or seen the angels, but they are always there, and they are just waiting for you to ask them to help you. They're just waiting. They're just waiting, because they can't come and help you unless you ask them. They can't come and give you any assistance until you say, angels, I would really appreciate some help. I really, really would love to have some help from these high level angels. I would love to have you come in and help me and assist me and give me guidance and give me comfort, because life on earth is hard. It's hard. It's not an easy gig. It is not. It is not an easy gig. And we're going into a new phase on earth that is going to be really, really miraculous and really, really beautiful. And sorry about that. Hold on.
From giving feedback to attending meetings to signing contracts. That's working.
I had on vibrational music, but apparently there's commercials on that one. So anyways, I've said all that. Okay, so once we get beyond the ascension symptoms, once we get beyond that, then we're going to be upgraded. We get upgraded every time that we have ascension symptoms. There's a break in between the ascension symptoms, and then there's an upgrade. So while we're feeling very, overwhelmed, and we're feeling exhausted, when we need to go to sleep, please go to bed. Because while you're in bed sleeping, they are upgrading you. They are upgrading you. They're going into your DNA, and they're taking off the blockages, and they're upgrading you so that you will be ready and prepared for when you go through the Great Awakening. So if you're in the first wave of the Great Awakening, or maybe you're a way shower and you're going to hold the door open for the first awakening, when they have the first mass awakening, there are a few people that are going to be way showers, and they're going to hold the door open for the Great Awakening, the first one. So maybe you're a way shower. Maybe you need to hold the door open. So maybe you've been going around spreading your love and spreading your compassion, and you've been very diligent, and you've gone through ascension system after ascension, and they've upgraded you, and they've upgraded you, and you are ready to be awakened. And when you are awakened, you will see on the other side of the veil, and you will realize that you are a multidimensional light being that can see things multi-generational, multi-dimensional, and multi-reality. You're going to see everything all at once. You're going to see things from such a higher perspective that you aren't even gonna, you're gonna be shocked, but you're also going to be connected. You're going to be connected to all that is. And when you're connected to all that is, you will completely understand what is going on. And you will know that you just went through the Great Awakening, because now you can see that what you didn't see when you were on the other side of the veil, now you're going to be able to see it the way the angels see it, the way that God sees it, the way that, all the aliens see it, the people from Palladium, the people from Arcturus, all these other planets, the way that they see things, you're going to be able to see things. And so you're going to be able to hold the door open for the mass awakening, because when the mass awakening happens, then it's going to be a little bit chaotic. And there is a lot of chaos coming all around the world. As you know, I'm from the United States, so there's going to be a lot of chaos in the United States. But that doesn't mean that this is the only place that there's going to be chaos. There's going to be chaos all over the world, because Mother Gaia is also shedding her karma. She is also shedding her karma, and that means that we're going to have, like what just happened with Hurricane Helene. We're going to have hurricanes. We're going to have earthquakes. We're going to have flooding. We're going to have volcanoes going off. And this is because Mother Gaia is processing her karma. And the more that we do that energy running and sending love waves across the planet and out into the universe that I gave you in the last video, the more that we do that, the more that the less that Mother Gaia has to shed. So it will ease the pain and suffering of us. At the same time we are easing the pain and suffering of Mother Gaia, if we send that love around her planet and give her that big hug. So connect your roots into Mother Gaia. Wind your roots around a crystal and absorb Mother Gaia's energy, absorb the crystal energy, bring that back up through your legs and through up all your chakras and right straight up into heaven, and then bring that energy back right straight through those 3 Christ consciousness chakras and right straight through the star soul chakra and right into your crown and right straight back through and right back up and right back through and right back up. And so you get that energy going really, really good. And then you bring that energy down into your hands. And when your hands heat up and you feel like you got a ginormous ball in your hands, or maybe even 2 balls, maybe you want to have 2 balls of light, I don't know, whatever you want. And then you send that light out. You send that light out. Light is actually coming out of your hands. And if you can see auras, then you can see that light. I can see that light. I can see that light in certain people. And, oh, sorry. Yeah, trying to fall out of the chair. I am going through Ascension symptoms and I am super tired. So, anyways, so when you do that, you're going to start in the room you're in. You're going to send love into the room you're in. Send love into your house, into your street, into your neighborhood, into your city, into the surrounding cities. And stop and give some love to the people that you love. And I like to do this. I'm just going to put that love all the way around them. And I just put the love all the way around them. And I envision this white light coming out of my hands. And I envision the white light going on to my loved ones. I envision the white light caressing my loved ones and giving them a big hug. And that's the way I do it. If you just want to, say, "Ooh, I love you," do that. However you want to do it, however it resonates with you. And then I live in the United States, so I go all across the United States. And then I know some people in Europe, so I spread some love in Europe. And I know a couple of people now that I belong to a Patreon group. I know some people that live in Hong Kong, and I know a person that lives in Malaysia. And I know some, people that live in places I never knew people that live there. And so I will stop on those countries and I will give love to those people, but I also give love to that whole country. So once you're done with the entire planet, then you wrap that white light, love energy, you wrap it around the planet. You wrap it around the planet like a big hug, and you just wrap it and wrap it and wrap it. And so make sure that the entire planet is covered in your white light energy. And then you send it out into the universe, multi-dimension, multi-reality, multi-generational. Saint Germain said that is extremely important that you say it that way, because when we come here, we are multi-dimensional, multi-reality, multi-generational. When we come to Earth, we do all those things. We just don't know we do all those things, but we do all those things. And it's called quantum physics. And I don't understand math very well, and I'm not a scientist. But I do know that Einstein started to figure out some of this stuff. And they're now just starting to figure out things with string theory, which is also quantum physics. And so all these things are starting to be scientifically proven. Like the other day when I told you you can charge your rocks with love energy, and you can charge water with the love energy. And they have scientific experiments that show that if you send love into a cup of water, they can actually measure that the water has changed. And it is true, because we are energy. We are energy, and everything that we do is energy. So once you learn how to recognize energy, how to run energy, you're going to start to be able to feel other people's energy. And that's your empathetic center. And you're going to start to know other things that are going to happen. And that's your claircognizant. But it's because you're understanding the energy. You're understanding energy. And so you're getting messages, knowings from the fact that you understand energy. When you start to hear things and it comes in through, like I do when I channel, I see visions and I hear the words. They're not my words, it's my voice. I don't hear somebody else's voice in my head. I hear my own voice, but it's saying things that I don't say. Like, I don't call myself dear one. I don't say, I love you, Rebecca, Elizabeth, Sharon, and Roy. I don't say that. They do. They say that. They use my whole name to catch my attention, just like mom did when you were little, and she'd say your middle name. They say Rebecca Elizabeth, and and so you will hear stuff like that, and you'll be like, what's going on? And sometimes when I first started hearing it when I was a kid, I thought that my dad was calling me, because my dad was the only one that called me Rebecca. And until about it's October now, 10 months ago, I joined a group on Patreon, and I just signed up with my name, Rebecca Roy, and everybody started calling me Rebecca. And I thought, I really like this, and it's the first time that I have accepted my name, Rebecca. I have always been called Becky or Beck, and because my dad died when I was young, I was 19, and I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to lose the way that he said my name. I loved the way he said my name, because there was a lot of things, about my dad, but the thing that I really loved about him was that he saw me. He saw me. Like, when I would tell him that I saw the glowing people in church, and he'd tell me to stop staring, he would also say my name in a way that was loving. Rebecca, it's okay. You have a great imagination, but stop staring. You know what I'm saying? It just was there. It was in with my name. The fact that he loved me, the fact that he was proud of me, even though, he didn't really believe that I was seeing glowing people when I was a little kid, but he did believe that I had a great imagination, and he did convey his love to me just by saying my name. And no one's ever done that with my name, and I think you can know what I'm talking about when people take your name and they say it in a mean way. And so I didn't want anybody to do that with my name, Rebecca. And after I joined this group and I started being Rebecca there, I started being Rebecca everywhere. And I realized that the reason being is because Becky really doesn't exist anymore. I have changed so much since I started actually accepting my gifts and accepting who I am and accepting my true self and actually talking about my true self. I went into the mall today and I told 2 people that I do readings. That's not like me. I'm kind of a hermit. I'm kind of to myself. I don't want people to know that I can do these things because, I was made fun of and teased pretty much my whole life. And what's happening now is a lot of people that are like me, that have been in the closet and haven't been telling people who they really are, and are now, coming into their gifts quite a bit. I've expanded several times, and because of that, I know more, see more, hear more, feel more, and I'm actually getting healthier and healthier and healthier. And the reason for that is because I'm letting more God's love energy into me. And I was reminded of something today that I learned over a year and a half ago actually 4 years ago, when Jesus came and helped me when I was at my lowest point in my life, when I was hooked to oxygen 24/7, and I couldn't go anywhere or do anything without being on it, because my oxygen would dip into the 70s and I would basically turn blue and I was suffocating. But what he did was he healed me enough so I didn't have to be on my oxygen all the time. I still needed it quite a bit, but I didn't have to be on it all the time. And he told me that I would be healed, but there was 2 people that were going to come and heal me, but not all the way. I had to do the rest of the work myself, because I would have disease in I had disease thinking, basically, is what he was saying. And then he told me that disease cannot exist in a body where God's love resides. So the more that I pull in God's love to do these channelings, the more God's love stays in me, just like my false beliefs were in me, and all that pain and suffering that I went through, that I pushed down, was in me. Now it's being replaced. As I'm releasing that, I'm opening up space. I'm opening up space for more God's love. And as I open up space for more God's love, I get healthier and healthier and healthier. And it's been amazing. This journey has been amazing. And I hope that somebody that has been going through a lot of the same things that I've been going through sees this video and gives them hope that, oh, okay, I'm not crazy. One, no, you're not. These things are real. They're magical. Yes, they are magical, but they are real. Two, you're having ascension symptoms. Take care of yourself. Give yourself love and compassion. Drink plenty of water. Eat fresh vegetables and fruit because they are alive still. They are alive. And when you eat things that are living and you're going through ascension symptoms, you feel better. It's just the way it is. You can go back to eating chicken when you're done with your ascension symptoms if you still want to. I ate chicken today. But what I'm saying is, last week I didn't. Last week I ate fruit and vegetables because last week I could barely get one foot in front of the other because I was exhausted all the time. So this is what I'm saying is, do the things that you know that you can do. Yes, go see a doctor if you're that concerned about what's happening. Definitely go see a doctor because there might be something wrong with you. Maybe you have something that needs to be taken care of by a doctor. So yes, absolutely go see a doctor. But on the other hand, if he tells you, nope, you're perfectly healthy, there's nothing wrong with you, then try just taking a nap. Take a long nap. I had a couple days there that I slept all day. If you need to sleep all day, sleep all day. You know, and if you work all week and you only have a couple days off and you want to sleep those 2 days, sleep those 2 days. Whatever it is that you need to do to help you get through the ascension symptoms, get through the ascension symptoms. Because no, after you've cleared all these things that you need to clear, you've opened up a space. And now they're going to come in and they're going to fill that space with God's love energy. And when they fill that space with God's love energy, then your clear cognizance is going to go up and you're going to really know stuff that's, you know, unbelievable stuff. You're going to hear things that are unbelievable. You're going to see things that are unbelievable, and you're going to have some visions, and you're going to, you know, maybe you're going to find out that there's going to be an earthquake, and maybe you have a relative that when you see that earthquake's going to be, and you can tell that relative, I want you to get out of there for now. Could you go somewhere? Could you go to this town? Because I know this town's going to be okay. Have them go to that town. Do whatever it is that your knowings are telling you to do. If you're seeing a vision where you know that there's going to be a forest fire and you know that this town over here isn't going to be affected, tell them to go there. When they get the message that there's the forest fire, tell them, go there. You know, you can prepare people, you can help people. They could pack a bag and have it ready already in the car. And then all they got to do is grab their family and jump in the car and go. You know, sometimes minutes matter. So when you find out this stuff, don't ignore it. The more that you acknowledge the knowings that you have and the visions that you have, the more they're going to give you more. And the best part is about this is that if you are in the Away Shore or you are in the First Awakening, you are going to know everything very soon. Very soon. So just hold on to your hat, enjoy the ride, and when you're not enjoying it, take a nap, have a good cry. And that is my best advice for you. But know that it's going to be really, really beautiful. We are going to turn this planet into a place that we all want to be. And yes, it's going to take time. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be next year. But it is coming, and there are many, many things that are showing that it's coming. And there are also many things showing that there's going to be some chaos because Mother Gaia has to shed her karma too. So let's spread that love all the way around the earth and give the earth a big hug. Give that earth that extra hug. Because if you do that, then her ascension symptoms will be less. Her karma will be less. And the less her karma is, the less it affects us. So please, 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 give yourself the love and compassion that you would give everyone else, because we know that you are a loving, kind person. If you're watching me, you're a loving, kind person, and you just want to know how to get through this stuff. And I can help you get through this stuff. And if you would please like, share, and subscribe, and leave me a comment, I would really appreciate it. And if you want to have a reading from me, what I can tell you is your angel message. I will start it with your angel message. Then I will tell you what your gifts are. And you may not even know what gifts you have at all, or you may know that you have some. And I can tell you what they are, and I can tell you sometimes, I don't want to say all the time, because sometimes they say that they're going to come to you and tell you the message. Now that you've come see me, then they're going to come to you, because now you can give them permission to come to you. But sometimes they just tell me what your message is, what your mission is, and then you know. And they also, 9 times out of 10, they will tell you if you're a first awakener, or if you're a way shower, or you're a second awakener, or third awakener. But highly unlikely if you're a third awakener that you're going to come see me anyways, because third awakeners think we're woo-woo and they don't come see me. So that's basically it. And I am sending all of you a big love wave and an extra love wave, because if you're watching this, then you're watching about ascension symptoms. But know that there is a big bright light, just like my painting back there, in the distance, and it is coming for us. And we are going to be in abundance. We are going to be in happiness. We're not meant to suffer like this. We are not meant to suffer like this. God wants us to be happy. God wants us to be in abundance. God wants us to be able to spread our love and freely love people without being worried whether or not they have an ulterior motive. And that's the way that God wants us to be able to love. God is not a vengeful God. God is a loving, compassionate God. God is like love times a billion. I mean, trillion, gazillion. That's the way God is. God is not vengeful in any way. He's not judgmental. He's not, and none of those things that have been taught to us. He is just love, pure love. He loves you no matter what you do, no matter how much you hate yourself. God is going to tell you that you are the most magnificent, phenomenal being that ever existed, and He loves you. So you have a wonderful day, and you have a wonderful upcoming week, and I'll see you sometime during the week. I will see you guys, and I'm going to send you another love wave, because these ascension symptoms can be brutal. Take care. Bye-bye.